everyone, welcome to the Psychology of Dating podcast. You are listening to Nadine Newkirk. I'm both a clinical psychologist and a dating coach. Today's podcast episode, I'm going to be sharing a DBT, dialectical behavioural therapy skill called TIPP skill. And this is to be used when you have high intense distress and you need something quick and fast acting to help calm your nervous system down. Before we jump into that, I'd like to remind you I have a free guide called Top 3 Mindset Shifts in Dating. If you have been struggling with dating, maybe thoughts like, I'm unlovable, or there's no one out there, it's too hard to find someone, then this could be a useful guide for you. I've written down 3 top unhelpful beliefs that people get, and then also the alternatives, the reframes to help open and expand your mind and alleviate some of that distress that's coming from your thoughts and might be slowing you down in your dating experience. Okay, so today I want to give you a very practical tool which can help you reduce intense distress that you might be experiencing in dating. So maybe you've just found out that someone's broken up with you and you're feeling angry or anxious or distraught. Maybe you're waiting for someone to text you back and it's gotten to a peak point where, you can't handle it any longer. It's been the 3rd day and you're feeling really agitated. Maybe you've just had a fight with someone you're dating, or maybe you need to have a really difficult conversation with someone, but you're feeling overwhelmed by emotions and it's hard to think clearly, and you need something to take the edge off those emotions so you can proceed. So this is where the TIPP skill can come in handy. And the TIPP skill, part of DBT therapy, it comes in a module called distress tolerance. So the ability to be able to tolerate distress. And you'll notice it's not to get rid of distress, because we're always going to have distressing things happen in life, and uncomfortable emotions are a part of life. They're a part of our human body. We wouldn't want to get rid of them. We want to experience anger, to know when our boundaries are crossed, and it alerts us that, no, this is not something that I'm okay with. We want to experience high anxiety when there's a threat. A car is hurtling around the corner. So we want some uncomfortable emotions. Sometimes, however, they get triggered in situations where it hijacks our brain. We can't think clearly, and we need to actually stop, slow down, and problem solve, or move at a slower pace rather than act impulsively from emotions. And this is where distress tolerance comes in. Imagine if your distress is 80% from 100, so 100 is the highest distress. Distress tolerance can come in real handy when it's in that upper limit. And if you have lower levels of distress, that's where you might want to use an emotion regulation skill, something to help regulate your emotions. That might be self-care, going for a walk. It might be different body-based exercises. It could be doing something that gives you a sense of mastery, things that can help change and shape and shift your emotions. So for today, I'm going to be focusing on that distress tolerance window. And these TIPP skills, they're amazing because they are simple. They're very quick and fast acting. They are all tools that help you calm down your nervous system, changing it from a state where you might be in fight-flight, you have elevated heart rate, your breathing is rapid, you have racing thoughts, your emotions feel like they're really intense in the body and you've got strong urges. If you're angry, there's an urge to yell or slam a door. And then you can shift that nervous system state to the parasympathetic, rest and digest, where you have slower heart rate, slower breathing, that your body is able to do those more calming, nurturing things like digestion, easier to sleep and rest. And if you need to think clearly and make a plan and take things at a slower pace, then getting into your parasympathetic nervous system is really, really important, because your thoughts become slower. You can see the bigger picture rather than have a narrow threat focus, which is in the sympathetic nervous system state. The TIPP skill is an acronym, and the first 2 letters I will go through, and then the last 2, the P's, I'll actually practice with you because they are breathing, body-based exercises that don't take very long, and I can guide you through it. So the first one, T is for temperature. This is where you use changes in extreme temperature to change your arousal, your nervous system state, and help calm your thoughts and your mind. And specifically, it's using ice water. If you've ever been diving, you would have heard of this term, the diver's reflex. This is where if you dive under really cold, icy ocean water, your brain thinks, I don't know when I'm next coming up for oxygen, for air, and it'll automatically slow down your bodily functions to conserve oxygen for your main vital organs like your heart and your brain. So this is something that you don't actually need to consciously activate, this diver's reflex. Your body just does it. When you go under that cold, icy water, your heart rate will slow down, your breathing will slow down, and you'll also notice a slowing in your thinking as well. Your thoughts will become more in the present moment. So how can you activate this when you're feeling distressed? There's a few different ways to do it. One, if you're home, you can get a big bowl and fill it with cold water. Get a whole tray of ice cubes and dunk that in. Make sure the water's cold. And then you hold your breath and place your face in the water. If you can do for 30 seconds, that's great. And then you'll come up. And sometimes people notice the effect straight away. Sometimes you might need to do it a few times, 3-4 times, and then you'll start to notice that effect. You can also have a cold shower. It's got that shock factor. I've known people who've gone fully closed into a cold shower because they were in the moment of distress, didn't want to do something impulsive, and then it really instantaneously helped calm them down. If you are close to water, a cold pool, an ocean pool, the ocean, then you might jump in there. You might also like to try splashing cold water on your face. So if you are, for example, out at a work meeting and you're noticing you're getting really worked up about something from dating, you can go to the bathroom, splash your face with cold water. Or if there's something cold like frozen peas, an ice pack, if you place that on your forehead and hold it there, that can also activate the diver's reflex. If you have something on your forehead and covers over your nose, your nostrils, that's a really good area to be able to activate that diver's reflex. With all these tips, I recommend that you practice it before you're in distress. Because when you're in that moment, it's hard to think, I'll just do water, yeah, sure, I'll feel good. You won't believe it. But if you practice it beforehand, notice the effects yourself, notice any benefits, then you're more likely to be willing and to think about it when you're in the moment. And it only takes, a minute to set this up. So I highly recommend that you pick one that resonates with you and then you test it out. So we've got TIPP skill, that's T for temperature. Then you've got the I for intense exercise. And this is different to regular exercise, going to, the gym for an hour or something like that. Because when you're in heightened distress, you don't have the capacity to pack your bag, leave the house, do all those things. This is where you do a short burst of energy to help you get rid of excess cortisol in your system and to help calm you down. So as mammals, if we have stress, cortisol will be released into your system. And the only way that you can actually get that cortisol out of your system is to do high intense exercise where you get an increased heart rate and you break a sweat. If you've noticed ever cats or dogs have a fight and have stress, they will run afterwards to get that excess cortisol out. And if you work in an office job or something like that, then if you've got stress about dating and you're just sitting all day, your body's going to have that excess cortisol. It's going to make you feel more anxious. It's going to make it harder to sleep. So really getting that out of your system will help you feel better. So what you need to do is think about something where you can get your heart rate up. It doesn't matter what it is. For some people, it might be putting on music in their room and flailing their arms and limbs to several songs. It might be doing star jumps, push-ups. It could be going to the park and running up and down stairs, running up and down the stairwell of a building. It really doesn't matter what it is. As long as you get that heart rate up, you break a sweat. If you can do it for at least 20 minutes, that's best, but any amount of time is helpful. Okay, so we've got the T and the I, and then the last two are the P's. The first P stands for paced breathing. And you've probably heard people say, when you're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, just take a breath. But what does that actually mean? If you take a breath in a specific way, it can help activate that parasympathetic nervous system, your calm nervous system state. So every time you breathe in, and you can test this out, place your hand over your heart. When you breathe in, your heart rate increases, activating the sympathetic nervous system. And when you breathe out, your heart rate decreases, slows down, activating the parasympathetic nervous system. Pretty cool. In one breath cycle, you're activating both nervous system states. When you're feeling stressed, you've got rapid breathing, and often you're trying to get more breath in. And that's actually activating you further. So what we want to do is slow down the exhale compared to the inhale. Doesn't matter the ratio as long as the exhale is slower. You might do 3 seconds breath in, 6 seconds breath out, or 4 in, 8 out, whatever works for your lung capacity. If it feels too overwhelming to do that, a sigh can help reset the nervous system. That's a long exhale. It's part of that process. So when you're doing that slow breathing, that paced breathing where you extend your exhale, you need to do it for at least 2 minutes for it to physiologically take effect, for it to start to really slow down that heart rate, your breathing, calm your thoughts. And I recommend you look at your phone, put a timer on, or you look at a ticking clock, anything to really track and make sure you're doing that time, and it'll have an added benefit of keeping your attention there so you're not in racing anxiety thoughts or rumination thoughts or things like that. And it's pretty cool because you can do this one anywhere. No one even needs to know you're doing it. You can do it on the bus, at work. You can even do it on a date. The person's gone to the bathroom and you've got 2 minutes to reset your nervous system. You can also practice it. So being able to practice it daily can be really, really helpful. Picking a time, maybe before work, maybe at lunch break, something like that. As I said before, if you practice it and notice the benefits, you're more likely to use it. And the more you train your breathing to go in this way, then your body will actually remember this when you're stressed and automatically help you go into those protective breathing exercises. When you do the breathing as well, we want to make sure that you're breathing into the belly. This is where you'll get most diaphragmic breathing. If you're breathing into your chest, you're doing more shallow breathing, and that's also can contribute to anxiety feelings. It can feel a bit unnatural, but placing your hands on your belly, if you breathe in, imagine like a balloon inflating. And as you exhale, you pull your belly button towards your spine and empty out all the air, and then naturally inflating into the belly. It's really helpful to practice that. So I'll go through that exercise with you after I've explained this second P. That stands for Progressive Muscle Relaxation, PMR. You might have done something similar if you've done meditations like body scans. The premise behind this one is when you're in survival modes like fight or flight, all your muscles tense, they contract because your body's trying to get you prepared to run, to brace yourself. And when you're relaxed, all your muscles ease and that helps calm your thoughts and your mind as well. So if you've been struggling with something in dating, chances are you've unconsciously been clenching. It could be your jaw, or it could be tension headaches, it could be other muscles in your body, your legs, your arms. So what you're doing in progressive muscle relaxation is gradually from tips of your toes up to your head is tensing and then releasing each main muscle group of your body. And the reason you tense it beforehand is because it actually helps you release the muscle even deeper once you let go. And this is a great one as well, where you can use guided meditations. I will guide you through one after I've done the breathing exercise today. So you'll get 2 relaxation exercises that you can do. And if you find them helpful, then you can always just skip ahead to the time point where they start any time that you want in the future. If you don't want to re-listen to the audio I've just done, unless you want to recap. Before we jump into the exercises, I'd like to give a couple of examples where I've used the other 2 TIPP skills. Currently on maternity leave this year, I've been very, very sleep deprived at times, and you need to get through the day. So I've occasionally jumped into the ocean pools in the middle of winter when the temperatures were very, very cold. I even went in Tasmania where it was so icy there was not one other person on the beach. And I held my breath for 30 seconds, had my head under, and I really noticed the effects of it, bringing me into the present moment, stopping those overthinking thoughts that can happen when you are sleep deprived. I also had times where I'm fairly new to driving. I'm more comfortable now in suburbs in Sydney, but driving through big tunnels where you have to know multiple exits or cross multi-lane bridges, I still find quite stressful. And I've purposely put the air vents and the air conditioner right on my forehead and put it right up on the highest setting. So when I'm driving, I'm getting that blast of cold air. It won't be the same as activating the diver's reflex, but it does have that shock effect of extreme temperature and kept me alert, even though my heart was racing and I was feeling a bit more anxious. Okay, so now we're going to practice the 2 P's of the TIPP skill, the paced breathing and progressive muscle relaxation. Set aside 10 minutes for yourself, finding a location where you can have a comfortable position. Whatever feels helpful for you today. Maybe it's sitting, lying down, and you can choose whether you'd like your eyes open or closed. We'll start with the paced breathing, and then I'll move into the progressive muscle relaxation. Placing your hands on your belly, emptying out all your air, and then breathing into the belly for 3, 2, 1, and breathing out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing into the belly, 3, and breathing out 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, into the belly. Hold and out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow inhale. Hold at the top and gently release for 6, 2, 1, into the belly. We've got 1 more minute. Hold at the top and slowly out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, into the belly. Pause and out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently inhale. Pause. And extend the exhale. One more breath here, into the belly. Pause at the top. And out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just go back to your regular breathing. Taking a moment to notice how you feel. Just turning inward. Notice how your thoughts feel, your body feels. Knowing that was just 2 minutes of your time. And we'll move on to relaxing your muscles. So starting at your feet. Curling your toes under your feet so you can feel the arches of your feet switch on. Squeeze your feet, feel the tension. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, release your toes, relax the soles of your feet. Notice how that feels. Then pulling your toes up towards your shins, so you're just on the heels of your foot. You'll notice the tension in your shins start to intensify. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, let the feet melt down. Notice how the fronts of the bottom of your leg feel. And then coming up onto your tippy toes so you can squeeze your calf muscles, your left and your right, as tight as you possibly can. Squeeze. Take a breath in. And exhale. Release your calf muscles down. Notice the difference between tensing and releasing. Moving up to the tops of your legs, squeezing your quad muscles, your left, your right, as tight as you possibly can. Take a breath in. As you exhale, release your thighs down. Moving to your glute muscles, squeezing your butt like you're sitting up a bit higher. Take a breath in. Exhale, releasing down. Moving to your back. Arch your back and try and get your elbows to touch behind your back so you can arch even more. Squeeze your back muscles, lower to upper. And then exhale, release down into the chair or furniture, wherever you are. And then breathe into your belly. Pause at the top. And just notice any tension in your belly, your abdomen. And then exhale, release your belly muscles. Taking a full breath into the chest. Pausing at the top. Notice tension, maybe your chest, shoulders, neck. And then exhale, release it down. Notice how it feels. Bring both arms up. Make fists with your hands. And squeeze your hands, squeeze your biceps, your triceps, squeeze all your arm muscles. Tighter, take a breath in. And you exhale, release your arms down, relax your hands and fingers, just letting gravity do its job. Moving up to your shoulders, squeezing your shoulders up towards your ears. Squeeze them higher. Take a breath. And exhale. Feel your shoulders melt down. Moving to your jaw. Open your jaw, making an O shape with your mouth so you can feel your jaw muscles switch on. You can hold a lot of tension there. Take a breath in. And you exhale, relax your jaw, your tongue. Notice how you're feeling around your mouth. And last one, scrunch up your entire face. Furrow your brow, scrunch your nose, squeeze your cheeks, your lips together as tight as you can, all those microfacial muscles. Take a breath in. As you exhale, feel your face muscles release. And for these last few breaths, take a breath in and then exhale throughout your whole body, noticing if there's any last bits that you want to release down, any last muscles that feel a little bit tight. See if you can relax it even a tiny bit. Just taking some last soothing breaths. Just take a moment to notice where your mind's at, how you're feeling before and after these exercises. Knowing that you can always come back to these at any moment. And I hope you have a lovely day or a lovely night wherever you are in the world.